Hall, the Indiana Hoosiers will try to stay perfect as they host the Mean Green of North Texas. The runner-up in last season's NCAA tourney, the Hoosiers were determined not to finish as runner-up in Hawaii. The big men played big. Indiana shot the three, and the freshmen didn't play like freshmen. Indiana went 3-0 to capture the EA Sports Maui Invitational title, and today it's their home opener. Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana, the home of the Indiana Hoosiers. And this afternoon, those Hoosiers lift the curtain on their home season by hosting the Mean Green of North Texas. Hi, everybody. Alongside former Hoosier John Laskowski, I'm Mike Gleason, and hopefully you're putting the finishing touches on a great holiday weekend. And Laz, the Hoosiers 4 times have gone to Maui, 3 times have played in the championship game, this time coming back to Bloomington with all the hardware.
They got it because of Bracy Ryan, a great freshman for Indiana. He scored double figures 3 times while he was over there. He could score from the outside, but he's also a very good jumper. Look at that stuff shot right there. He scores inside, but it's a 3-point shot that he's most deadly at.
Chris Davis led the Sun Belt Conference in scoring last year as a junior. This afternoon, he'll try to lead the Mean Green to the big upset in Big Ten territory. We're back with more after this.
When the WB presents The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Wednesday at 7 on WB 19.
Well, Mike Davis will have to change his wardrobe now that he's back in Bloomington in front of the hometown crowd, but fresh off of the Maui Championship. Laz, Mike Davis has to be extremely pleased with the play of the big men over in Hawaii, even though the young freshman grabbed some of the national headlines.
That's right. Good shooting team from the outside, Indiana is, but they're going to need some guys inside. That starts with Jeff Newton, 6'10". He's going to take over for Jared Jeffries. He's got to step up his game this year and produce some scoring as Jeffries did. He made 4 of 5 3-point shots out in Hawaii, and he's only taken 2 his whole career. But his game is really inside. Here he follows up a missed shot by Coverdale inside. Look for Newton to increase his scoring average. George Leach had a terrific game against Massachusetts. He had 19 points, 16 rebounds. He's blocking shots. He's got 10 already on the season. He can play well inside. He's got a nice little hook. He's hurt, though. His arm is injured. He may not play in today's game.
Well, as the good news is, Tom Coverdale, the heart and soul of this Hoosier basketball team, says his back feels fine. He's ready to go. So we're back with the starting lineups, and then we'll play some basketball next.
Four stars. The New York Times says Treat Williams is remarkably good.
One day you seem to hate me. The next day you still hate me. And other days you just hate me.
USA Today raves Gregory Smith is a star.
I haven't made anything for myself here, except you.
Discover the show TV Guide calls a breakout hit.
I don't know whether or not you've ever had sex.
And you never will.
Okay then.
Ever would.
Monday at 8 on WB 19.
Back inside Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana, the home opener for the Indiana Hoosiers. Here are the starting lineups brought to you by Prairie Farms Ice Cream. Taste the homemade goodness of Prairie Farms. Green Masters, Hopkins, Davis, and Green. Davis and Green, the top 2 scorers returning from last year. And you see Indiana with Newton, Hornsby, Coverdale, Moye, and Wright. So A.J. Moye getting the start instead of George Leach for the Indiana Hoosiers. And Mike Davis, fresh off the championship in Maui, 49-25 in his 3rd season leading the Indiana Hoosiers. So a win today would be number 50 for Mr. Davis.
It'll be interesting to see how Indiana plays without Leach. He's done a nice job the first 3 games. There's Johnny Jones. He's the second-year coach at North Texas, 17-16. He served as an assistant at LSU for 10 years. In fact, played at LSU when Mike Davis played at Alabama. They faced each other.
As a matter of fact, Johnny Jones playing in the Final Four and coaching in the Final Four. And the Shaq says to this day, the reason he went to LSU is because of that man right there. Johnny Jones, 4-24 2 years ago when he took over this program. He turned that around to 15-14 last year. That's the 3rd best improvement winning percentage-wise in the nation. Went from 14% to 52%.
One of the keys to look for, Mike, will be Chris Davis. He's 6'5", 225 for North Texas. He's a guy that Dane Fife would have guarded last year, the Hoosiers defensive stopper, to see what Indiana does to try to stop a big score in Davis.
And Indiana controls the opening tip. Tom Coverdale, the heart and soul of this team, only 9 of 37 over in Maui, shooting the rock. So Coverdale, an uncharacteristic 24% on the season. Inside at Newton, in the paint, and he misfires, and Green comes up with a rebound. But there's that spark plug, Moye, and he missed his first shot. There's Davis with the basketball. The one Laz speaks of. Chris Davis, a 6'5" senior, leading scorer in the Sun Belt last year. Knocked out of bounds. It stays with North Texas.
Like Bracy Wright's going to get the call on Davis. Bracy 1 inch smaller and quite a few pounds lighter.
Davis not shy. This one rolls out. Sam Newton clears for Indiana.
Spread offense by Indiana. Really playing with one big man, that's Newton, and 4 guards, although Moye can play forward as well.
Coverdale coming off the pick. Good entry pass. Hornsby way downtown, a little bit too strong. Rims out, and Jermaine Green comes up with a rebound, and North Texas wants to run. Hopkins stops, and he misfires. So neither team coming out red hot here early on the Sunday afternoon. Coverdale, Newton, 6'9", too shy. We're coming back the other way.
Both teams like to run. As you've seen, the pace is very fast here in the first minute and a half.
Masters, good collapse on the defensive end, and Green. So Jermaine Green had the 2-foot bunny, and it won't go down.
So Indiana set the play now. But a very different offense than what the Hoosiers have shown. Just 1 player in and 4 out.
Hornsby turns and fires. Bracy Wright went up, but North Texas comes away with the basketball. It's Hopkins. Nice crossover. Gets in the paint, and there's the offensive foul. We're coming back the other way.
Moye is a real spark plug for this team. He's gotten the start today. He does all the things that none of the other players want to do. He'd take the charge here. Look at that. Gets hit, coming down. But he's a great spark plug to have on your team. When he's in the ball game, not only do the kids get excited, but the crowd really gets going, and that helps the team as well get excited.
You know, Laz, I've been to Bloomington maybe 4 or 5 times, and every time A.J. Moye is the guy that's out here before the game. It must have been an hour and a half before the game, and he was out here shooting alone.
He really works hard. He wants to take advantage of this chance to start.
And deservedly so. But he's such a spark plug, and Mike Davis loves his energy coming off the bench. It's going to be interesting to see who the 6th man will be for Indiana here this afternoon.
There's a good look at Mike Davis. What a great run last year to take Indiana to the championship game in just his 2nd year as the Hoosier coach. It's really built some confidence in this year's team.
What I love about Mike Davis is he comes right out and says, hey, I want to win national championships. Obviously, the Indiana tradition stands by itself, but Mike Davis wants to turn this program into, let's say, a parallel to a Miami football team, and the way the Hurricanes have reached the national championship game. Mike Davis, a 4-time winner of the Hustle Award during his days at Alabama. Hornsby with the basketball. Hornsby, Coverdale, Newton. They've averaged 22 victories since donning the Indiana uniform. Down to 3 on the shot clock. Crossover, and Coverdale. It goes down, and Coverdale with a chance for the 3-point play.
Good move by Coverdale. I talked to him before the game. He said his back is fine. It seemed in Hawaii that 3rd game he was slowed down a little bit, but watch here. The shot clock's at 4. Crossover dribble goes right in the lane. He never worries about getting knocked down. He gets the shot and a free throw.
The senior rarely misses from the stripe. That's his 24th free throw already taken this year, Laz. Baseline drive, good offense that time, and it's jammed down by Green.
So Indiana's going to have to watch today. Newton, the only 6'10" player in there. The rebounding ability of the Mean Green could turn this game.
Jermaine Green, a 6'8" senior, the 2nd leading scorer last year behind Davis on this basketball team. There's Bracy Wright, the MVP. Lee Green outside, knock it down. That's a 3 ball for Lee Green.
Yeah, North Texas averaged 78 points a game last year. They want to get a high-scoring game going here. Counting their exhibition games, they're averaging 99 a game this year.
They like to light it up. Coverdale, strong move on the baseline, so Coverdale with all 5 points. And that bucket being the equalizer. We're tied at 5. That's a good point about this basketball team, this North Texas team lining it up. They led the Sun Belt, averaging about 79 points. There's the alley-oop, a little bit too strong. Good heads-up play that time by Newton, and it's coming back Indiana way.
Got the rebound and about stepped out, so he bounced it off a Mean Green player. Let's watch Coverdale drive to the baseline, the left side. He just goes up strong and hits the deck.
You know, I mentioned 9 of 37 shooting in Maui. How much could we attribute that to having a sore back, too? So many intangibles. Bracy Wright doesn't play like a rookie, does he?
He's got a great offensive game. We saw the three-point shot earlier, and he has a great drive, but he's got good leaping ability, so he can go up with the big guys.
There's a 3 by Davis, his first bucket. Comes in averaging 17 after averaging 22 points a game. As a matter of fact, he averaged 22 points a game as a redshirt freshman for North Texas. Right, with that explosive step off the dribble. Gets his own shot, and it doesn't go down.
Looked like an instant replay there, and you saw he got the rebound even off his missed shot.
Hopkins, and he knocks it down. That's a 2. He comes in averaging 14. That's his first bucket, and North Texas on top by 3, 10-7.
Hopkins and Davis are the 2 scorers for North Texas, and you can see Hopkins a good jumper, able to hit that shot.
Timeout on the floor, so we'll take a timeout. 15-18 to go. There's the MVP in Maui, Bracy Wright. Up and in. You're watching Big Ten basketball from ESPN+.
There's a local nightclub where you can count on good drinks, good food, and good times. It's Gloria's Corral Club, and there's always something going on. Monday is college and giveaway night. Tuesday is free taco night. Wednesday is talent night, where participants can qualify for great prizes. Gloria's has karaoke 7 nights a week. Enjoy delicious home-cooked plate lunches from 10:30 to 2. Look for low drink prices, including specials on Busch Light cans and pitchers. Through these doors pass the greatest customers in the world. Gloria's Corral Club, 3101 North Crantsville Road in Evansville.
He's 6'2". He's beautiful, and he's completely in love with my daughter.
Trouble.
Big time.
Rory is a smart kid. I don't believe she'd waste her time with some loser.
But you're watching me.
The whole town is watching you.
Every Sunday in Beginnings, Gilmore Girls Beginnings.
Tonight at 6 on WB19.
Fairy tales come to life.
Someone here eat a poison apple?
Glass slippers, poison apples, and of course, the big bad wolf. These witches may not live happily ever after all.
Who's gonna kiss her?
I'll do it.
A charmed fairy tale.
Tonight at 7 on WB19.
What is it about danger that makes your blood just...
Angel is endlessly fascinating. Critics rave 4 out of 4 stars.
You think I should keep these alphabetical? Or rearrange them by how much damage they inflict?
Angel.
Tonight at 8 on WB19.
The numbers favoring the Mean Green of North Texas, 10-7.
Let's watch Bracy right off the dribble here. Little stutter step there. Gets the defense to turn his head, and he gets right to the basket.
So Bracy Wright with a bucket. He comes in averaging 16 points, and not bad numbers for a rookie. Averaged 26 in high school, and I was in Champaign earlier last week and saw Darren Williams, another rookie that plays for the Fighting Illini, who was Bracy's teammate in high school. He averaged 18 and 8. So, boy, must have been fun to watch in high school. A.J. Moye.
Not a good shot that time by A.J. That was a forced shot. Indiana yet to get on track from the three-point line.
North Texas, they came in with 18 threes to their credit. Indiana came in with 32 already this season. Had a record-breaking campaign from behind the arc last year. Davis. Good entry pass. And it's last touch by North Texas. It's coming back to the Hoosiers.
Talk about the offense for Indiana, but it's the defense that wins games. It took them right to the championship last year. It's a very difficult team to score against, and there you saw just some good defensive pressure by all 5 players forced a turnover.
That's right. Last year in the Big Ten, opposition scoring only 63 points a game against this Indiana outfit. Moye. He misfires, and Hopkins goes up strong for the rebound.
Only 6'3", but you see he was right at the rim for that rebound.
North Texas trying to work it inside. And Moya. Boy, A.J. Moya, he may be 6'3", but he plays like he's 6'5", 6'6". Gracie Wright rims out. Let me ask you this, Laz. You've got the championship in Maui under your belt. You have Maryland sitting on the horizon. This is a perfect opportunity for North Texas to come into Bloomington and maybe catch Indiana, at least in the first half, napping just a little bit.
Got to be ready for every game. The team left after the championship game in Maui. They got back to Bloomington about 4 o'clock on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. They practiced Friday morning just for an hour and 15. They went again yesterday, and a lot of running, trying to get that jet lag out of the systems. A lot of running through the practice. So on a sluggish start today, they're down 3 in this game.
There's Davis, as you can see, not shy from pulling the trigger from downtown. Newton clears for Indiana. Hoosiers trail by 3, 10-7. And Coverdale's pass inside to Sean Klein off his fingertips, and it goes out of bounds. That's a second turnover for Indiana.
Sean Klein getting a play a lot this game because Leach will be out with that injury to his arm.
And there might be some silver lining there as far as getting Klein and Mike Roberts some minutes, right?
It really is, because Odell came on strong last year for Indiana, and Indiana needs a guy to replace Jared Odell.
Chris Davis gets the bounce. He has 5, and suddenly the Mean Green on top, 12-7. You notice at the top of the broadcast it said North Texas Eagles, but they go by Mean Green. And it's interesting, Laz, it actually stems back to Mean Joe Green during his football days at North Texas.
That's a great nickname. It's kind of the way you want your basketball team to play on defense.
The people at North Texas say there's a lot of Eagles out there, but not too many Mean Green. Beautiful move that time by Newton, but it's waved off.
A charge on Newton. He's got the baseline. Let's watch here. See there, he hooked right there with that left arm as he turned the corner.
Well, Mike Davis saying that Jeff Newton, he can be the Jeffries and the Kirk Haston of years past. He can be the go-to guy for this Indiana basketball team.
You know what happens each time you lose your go-to guy, the next guy gets a step up. Jeffries didn't have a step-up year when Haston was here, because Haston was carrying the load. And then when Haston left, Jeffries had his step-up year. And now it's time for Newton. He's got to do the same thing. He's watched 2 guys do it before him. Haston stepped up, and then Jeffries. So now it's time for Newton to do it.
Marshall Strickland, the other rookie, had that big game against Virginia. With the basketball now for Mike Davis's Hoosiers. Coverdale working his way in, looking for Strickland, and it's taken away by the Mean Green. Hopkins takes it to the other end. It's waved off. The foul before the shot.
And Bracey bumped into him before the shot. But Indiana's offense is a lot of one-on-one moves right now. It's not the regular pattern that they ran in Maui. And then when you're not running the regular pattern, players aren't expecting passes. There's the turnover, then the long pass down, and Hopkins gets fouled.
This time it's Jermaine Green. A little bit too strong. Long rebound goes right back to Green. Nice job of following a shot. Michael DeGrates, too strong. Newton high on the glass for the rebound. 12-7. Hoosiers have gone 4 minutes now without scoring.
And Indiana's been averaging 76 points so far this year, and far from that now. Here's more of the set play action that Indiana ran in Hawaii.
Good rotation. Wright dips inside the lane. There's the whistle and the foul. It goes against the great. So Bracey Wright will be going to the stripe, shooting 2.
The personal foul is on Texas, number 5, Chris Davis.
So the 6'3" freshman out of the Colony, Texas, according to the Sporting News, the Big Ten newcomer of the year in the preseason, goes to the line. He's hit 11 straight. There you go. You won't always jinx him. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I jinxed the young man.
Kyle Hornsby checking in. The advantage of having a lot of shooters is if somebody's not hitting, you can bring some other guys in. Hornsby, Wright, and Coverdale, all great shooters from the outside. 22 is Marshall Strickland. He's also in the lineup. Had a great game against Virginia. In fact, it was Wright and Strickland, 2 freshmen, who led Indiana in that victory in the championship game.
Make it 14 straight now as Coverdale and the Hoosiers trail 12-9 to the Mean Green of North Texas.
Oh, napkins. Straws. Ketchup.
Pass the salt, please.
At Steak and Shake, we're a restaurant. You sit, and I do the work.
Sure. Our kids' meal comes with a prize. It's called a steak burger.
Steak and Shake.
Do you want to own a computer, but your credit is less than perfect? If you have a checking or savings account and can afford a payment of just $35 a week for 12 months, you're approved, guaranteed. That's right. If you have a checking or savings account and can afford a payment of just $35 a week for 12 months, you will get the brand new, brand name computer of your dreams with no credit check and no cash needed today. No credit, bad credit, no problem. You are approved, guaranteed. If you have a checking or savings account and can afford a payment of just $35 a week for 12 months, call 1-800-319-8860 right now, because you are approved for a brand new, brand name computer, no matter what your credit looks like. Call 1-800-319-8860. That's 1-800-319-8860. Financing alternatives. Computers for everyone.
Back inside Assembly Hall, the next 4 games for Indiana all starts with that ACC Big Ten Challenge.
That
rematch
game will
of the
be
championship.
Tuesday. Maryland lost 4 starters, but Steve Blake is back, a great playmaker, and it'll be a great matchup at the Conseco Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. And then next week, you and I'll be back here for the Illinois-Chicago game.
Look forward to it. As you take a look at Marshall Strickland, and you talk about some of the freshman classes, of course, Mike Davis loves his. Bill Self has a talented freshman class, and Illinois will take on North Carolina. We'll talk more about that at halftime. And Davis misfires that time, and 12-9 Hoosiers with a chance to cut into the deficit now. Beautiful look for Hornsby, and he missed the bunny.
He was breaking out to the corner for the 3-point shot, but was wide open under the basket. Strickland got him a good pass.
Rogers outside, too strong. And here comes Indiana. Good look, good second thought, good shot.
Bracy got double teamed as he's ready to take that shot. Very smart play to get the ball to the open Jeff Newton.
Newton's first bucket of the afternoon, and Hoosiers within 1 now. Hopkins thought about it. Davis takes it. Good defense that time by Newton.
Easiest shot to block is when you come from behind like that. The player doesn't see, and Newton snuck up right from behind, tipped it away.
Laz Bracy Wright, 21 points, 7 rebounds against Virginia. Mike Davis says we still haven't seen him play well yet. Good feed, good shot. Newton getting it done inside now. He'll be going to the line with a chance for 3.
Crowd booed. I think they felt that was on Newton. They didn't count the basket. Called the foul before the basket. Mike Davis doesn't agree as well.
Well, you're absolutely right. I thought it was in the act of shooting myself, but Indiana will inbound, still trailing 12-11.
It looked like he pushed him, and that's what got him off balance, and then he threw it up. It was a difficult shot. John Jones talking to one of the officials. Play set up for Hornsby to get a shot in the corner. Good defense by Green.
Bracy Wright pulls the trigger from downtown.
Well guarded on that one. He's got a great shot. He uses his legs very well. It's kind of a low trajectory shot. And when it goes in, it usually hits nothing but net.
And that 3 ball gives Indiana the lead and forces Hopkins to pull the trigger a little bit prematurely for Johnny Jones.
Timeout came well for Indiana. Mike Davis got a chance to get the team together. They've run some set plays on offense and gotten this lead right back again.
11 times under Mike Davis, the Hoosiers have hit 11 threes in a ball game. Bracy Wright. Oh, that was a big-time NBA 3 if that would have went. Now I'm starting to get the picture of Mike Davis is talking about. 21-7 against Virginia, but we haven't seen him play that well yet.
Well, Mike Davis was talking about how he's watched him in practice. He loves coming to practice each day to see what Bracy and Marshall Strickland will do. that they can add to this team from what it lost last year. And he's seen Bracey make these shots. They don't really look at that three-point line like you and I do. They just, when they're open, they shoot and realize they're behind the line.
Hopkins, he's behind the line, too strong that time. And North Texas hitting that panic button a little bit. Beautiful crossover. Strickland missed. The follow is there, and Sean Klein's in the scoring column of the bucket.
Well, that was a great crossover at the left hand. Marshall then goes to the right and got all the way to the hoop. Good follow by Klein.
16-12, Indiana by 4. So the Hoosiers on a little run now as they try to open up some breathing room. And the good looks are few and far between now for North Texas against this Indiana defense. The great air ball.
Right there, the half-court defense that Indiana plays is very difficult. When North Texas in a fast break situation, that'll be their best opportunity to score.
Hoosiers 3-0. Sean Klein. Scouting report on him. He can hit that open J. Inside Klein, good look, unselfish play by Strickland. Bracey Wright's there to follow up. He's got 9.
That was a good play by Hornsby. North Texas wants a 30-second timeout. But Hornsby was ready to take that shot, but he's not really on it yet today, so he decides to pass it, and then one more pass by Marshall gets into Indiana the layup. Here we go. See how he passed it in? Here's Klein. Good block there, but Bracey stole the rebound from Klein and then goes right up with it. Watch how Bracey comes right in. Klein's ready to take that rebound, and Bracey's quickness takes it right away.
So the Indiana Hoosiers in the last 4.5 minutes. Remember, they went a good 4 minutes without scoring a bucket. They are now on an 11-0 run. And Laz, you talked about trying to run out the jet lag in practice yesterday. Well, I don't know what Mike Davis said during that last timeout. But these Hoosiers definitely.
Look at that, 11-0 run the last 4:30. But there's a lot of things the coach can say in 1 minute that can get his team going. You know, and Coach Davis was able to do that last time out.
And every time I look at that Indiana bench, whenever I come into Bloomington, it's always interesting to see Mike Davis sitting next to John Treloar. To think that Treloar now the associate head coach, and he was once Mike Davis's boss. As a matter of fact, Davis coached and played under him, right, in the CBA?
That's right, exactly. Coach Treloar is really the reason for this defense. He does a great job. He's responsible for the defense, and they fight hard and tough. There's John Treloar on the right.
CBA days. As a matter of fact, Mike Davis, assistant coach, he decided to don the uniform and play again at the age of 35, and still had a productive season. 18-14, Klein inside. Klein with a couple of buckets now, so making the most out of his minutes with George Leach on the bench.
You can see the players look to Klein to score inside. He's getting good position, and they must have seen him be able to do this in practice. They're not hesitant to get the ball inside to him at all.
Good follow-up that time by Jermaine Green, his second bucket, and it keeps North Texas within 4. Jermaine Green at 12 points, 18 minutes in their opener, just 13 minutes against SMU, nursing a bad ankle. Hornsby downtown, just off his shot. Hornsby told me in Chicago at the Big Ten Media Day he was going to look for his shot more this year as a senior.
That's a big difference in his game. Last year he was worried too much when he missed a shot. He kept looking to the bench. Coach Davis said, keep shooting, and then you saw at the end of the year, both he and Fife really did a nice job of nailing that three-point shot.
And Laz, you look at Hornsby in high school, 3,200 points. Newton misfires, 1,200 rebounds, 645 assists, and a 4.0 GPA. The kind of player that a coach would love to coach. North Texas downtown, that's a 3, so that graphic, you can add more for North Texas.
Saw Indiana just 1 of 9 from behind the arc, and that really hurt Kentucky. They were 2 of 22 against Virginia. Indiana able to beat Virginia, but when you're not making your three-point shot, that's going to hurt anybody's offense.
Well, Hopkins has been stone cold. Hornsby off the glass. Oh, nice play by Hornsby.
I'll tell you, basketball is a strange game. He gets wide open three-point shots and he misses them. He takes a running, fading shot and he makes that one.
Hopkins squares up for the 3, the whistle before the shot. I was just about to say that Hopkins had been stone cold, the 6'3" sophomore, but he hasn't stopped shooting. So Mike Davis now leading 22-19. We're going to take a timeout here from Assembly Hall. Sean Klein, the freshman with a couple of buckets, and Indiana leads it 22-19.
have your steak and cheese with some of that Southwest sauce.
2 classic BMTs and put sweet onion sauce on hers.
She's so sweet. Can I please have a roast beef with Dijon horseradish?
Subway Club with hot peppers, because we like it hot.
At Subway, every sandwich is fresh made just the way you want, with your choice of delicious meats, toppings, sauces, all on fresh baked breads. It can be complicated.
Just, give me what they're having.
Or simple. It's up to you.
Subway, eat fresh!
Next time on She Spies, the girls infiltrate a singles resort.
Why don't you come over later for pizza and sex? And bring the pizza?
They've got their cover names.
Tango and Breeze?
They've got their pickup lines.
A mixer without the drinks is like sex without the spanking.
But do they have what it takes to stop a deadly spy ring?
Not bad for girl agents.
He's mine.
Natasha Henstridge in She Spies.
Wednesday.
You have to give it everything. There's no guarantee that you won't be heard.
While filming the new Lord of the Rings movie put these actors' lives in harm's way.
I'll never forget hearing the medic say, it's bleeding quite freely now.
The real-life test of endurance that would forever change cast and crew. Smallville's Michael Rosenbaum. The WB presents Behind the Scenes, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Watch for your chance to win tickets to the December 18th midnight premiere of Two Towers, Wednesday at 7 on WB19.
That's Indiana by 3, and 3 an operative word in this Indiana offense.
Well, shooting is really something that mentally, probably more than physically. Look at the Indiana in 2001 and 2. They made 270. Did very well in the exhibition 2 games they had. And in Maui, almost 11 shots per game from the three-point line. Today, just 1 of 9. It's a lot mental, though, Mike. You got to make that first shot and say, boy, today. Figure out how each player could make their first shot. Defense would have no control over what happened.
That's a great point. They are a 41% shooting team, so that'll come on. And plus, they may be 1 for 9, but they've now had a 3 in 44 consecutive games. As we move inside the 6-minute mark, Newton, strong move down to the baseline, and he's fouled.
The other thing the three-point shot does is open up the middle. You saw Indiana last year in the regional. They went inside against Duke and stayed outside against Kent State. So it's great to have both because it's very difficult for a defense to stop both aspects of that game.
Boy, they were unbelievable against Kent State. What were they, 15 of 18, 15 of 19?
Yeah, made the first 8 in a row and really set the tone on that game.
Well, the 7th foul on North Texas. Indiana in the bonus.
One of the things North Texas had trouble with this year is foul trouble. They're doing better today, but they've had several players in foul trouble and other teams shooting a lot more free throws than they have. Not the case so far here early in this game.
Newton knocks down both. Is in 4 for the ball game, and it's 24-19 now. Indiana on top. That's a great point to bring up about North Texas, though, huh? At least 3 players with 4 fouls in both games, and 2 players have fouled out. That can really change the complexion of a ball game when the opponent goes to the line 73 times to your 44. And the big 6'10" guy doesn't go, but Will Smith, the 6'7" junior, gets his first bucket.
Well, Texas has done the job on the boards, and that's hurt Indiana. That's Coverdale. He didn't wait for the offense to say, just fire that 3.
So the Mr. Basketball in the Hoosier State back in '98 with 8 points now. Boyle with the steal. Try to go the distance, and he does.
What a great play. He sandwiched between 2 North Texas players, and that's the kind of play A.J. Moy loves to make. See how the crowd responds?
Coverdale hits the 3. Mr. Basketball in Indiana. Moye, Mr. Basketball in the state of Georgia. Green. Off the dribble. Stolen away again by Indiana. Coverdale.
So when you hear that crowd, it really makes you play tougher on defense. And that's tough for any team, even a defensive-oriented team like Indiana. It's hard to play defense. But when you hear the crowd, you want to get that steal. If Coverdale had made that, it really been a good offensive boost for Indiana.
See Johnny Jones now going with the freshman Scott Runiger with the basketball right now. He's a 6'2" freshman out of Metairie, Louisiana, trying to slow things down and work the basketball, get some better shots. They've been taking some ill-advised shots over the last 4 or 5 minutes. Down to 2, 1 on the shot clock, and Runiger's not going to get it on. So a shot clock violation. And Johnny Jones, not a happy camper right now, trailing by 8.
Well, that's good defense to hold the team 35 seconds without getting a shot. That shows you what a great job this Indiana team has been coached at doing in preventing shots.
North Texas 1-1 on the season. Victory over Southwest Missouri State. Matter of fact, at Southwest Missouri State, it was the first time that the Bears lost an opener at home in 25 years. Moye. Boy, A.J. Moye, with all the shooting he did during the early morning hours here in Assembly Hall, I'm sure you'd love to have that one back.
He's worked on his shots, got more arch this year. It was a very flat shot last year, but he's worked hard over the summer on that shot.
And Jermaine Green drops down his 6th point. Senior out of Houston, Texas. Johnny Jones waiting for him to take out 2 last year, averaging 13. He's only averaging 6 points after the first 2 ball games. Donald Perry outside. Too strong. Moye with a little push. And he's going to get called for the push, and it's coming back the other way. So with 3:10 to go in the first 20 minutes, A.J. Moye picks the pockets and takes it the distance. 29-23, Indiana.
Those must have been some cookies you left, Santa.
I didn't leave them cookies. I left them cheese.
Ah, the power of cheese.
Has the hassle of dealing with diabetes affected your quality of life? If you have Medicare, call Maxwell Medical now and see how to get your diabetes testing supplies delivered free right to your door. That's right. Medicare now covers the cost of diabetic testing supplies even if you're not on insulin. With Medicare and a supplement, you can pay little or nothing to test your blood sugar often. And best of all, there's no upfront out-of-pocket cost. And we do all the paperwork for you. Keep your diabetes under control and live the good life. Maxwell Medical will make it simple by billing Medicare and your insurance directly. You could save hundreds of dollars a year. Maxwell Medical gives you peace of mind with no upfront cost, absolutely no risk, no paperwork, delivered free, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Maxwell Medical. We're working hard at making your life easier.
Call 800-416-7722. That's 800-416-7722. Call now.
Indiana on top of their home opener, 29-23, 3:10 to go in the first 20 minutes. Let's check some other scores, Laz. On the Big Ten, Penn State trying to get things going against the Ivy League. Yale up by 4. Illinois, Western Illinois, they'll tip that one at 3 o'clock in Champaign, and Vanderbilt on the Indiana schedule later on. UConn moving up into the number 2 spot in the polls.
Vanderbilt will be here at Assembly Hall a week from tomorrow. Take on the Hoosiers. There's some shooting guards for Indiana, both Wright and Hornsby on the bench, although Wright's going to check Wright back in now.
So North Texas not shooting lights out, but they're still hanging around, 29-23. There's the big guy. The 6'10" sophomore is fouled, and so Barnett will be going to the line. Shooting 2. 6'10", 240-pound freshman. His dad was a 7-foot center at Pepperdine during his college days.
Newton tried to block that one from behind again, but caught the hand a little bit. It's 2 on Newton with 2:50 to go in the half, so Mike Davis is going to have to think about.
Gracie Wright checking back in for Mike Davis.
Nice move to the basket by Bracy, and then he can hit that outside shot as well.
Wright with 9 points, averaging 16 on the year, and Barnett knocks down both free throws. 29-25 now. It's back to a 4-point ball game.
Saw Newton on the bench as well. Mike Roberts has come in to place Newton.
Good feed as Sean Klein goes drifting down the lane, and he's fouled. That's a shooting foul, but keep in mind, North Texas already with 7, so Indiana will be in the bonus, and Hoosiers with 16 fouls. And as Laz was pointing out just moments ago, the opposition for North Texas came in with 73 free throws compared to 44 for North Texas. Klein misfires on his first attempt. He's 1 for 4, make that 2 for 5 from the stripe this season.
6'8", 230, so Klein can really give Indiana that boost inside with some size.
Yeah, Mike Davis was saying in Chicago that if Leach and Newton have excellent ears, Indiana will have an excellent basketball team. If they play average, well, Indiana will be average. You still buy that right now?
That's still right.
Klein, nice job of looking for the shot as he takes it to the rack. Knocked out of bounds, and it should stay with Indiana.
Klein's an aggressive player. He's a tough kid. He's not afraid to mix it up inside, and that's what Indiana needs. You know, Leach and Newton are more finesse-type players, and just like Oda last year, they need a banger in there and somebody can stop a defensive player. Leach won't play today. He's injured an arm in the last play of the Virginia game in Hawaii, so he's going to sit out this game, hope to be ready for the Maryland game on Tuesday.
Inside the feed, and the basket goes as Mike Roberts scores. So Sean Klein and Roberts both in the scoring column.
Here's a look at Roberts. Coverdale creates the action. Then Roberts and Klein will have to be the players. Leach is out with an injury, although he's susceptible to fouls a lot. Newton's already picked up his 2 fouls, so he's out for the half. So it's going to be Roberts and Klein to take Indiana these final 2 minutes with their inside game.
That was a beautiful feed by Coverdale, who had 178 assists last year. Coming into the game, he was 183 shy of setting the school record here at Indiana. Outside, open look that time. Still can't find the range. That was Will Smith, the junior. Alley-oop, and it's taken away by North Texas.
Good anticipation by Jermaine Green. He saw that pass coming and made the steal.
Inside, down on the baseline, and Green makes the defensive play and comes back and scores the bucket. He has 8, and it's 33-27.
Mark Davis mentioning to Coverdale, didn't need that last pass. Now's the time, under 2 minutes. Just set the offense up, run some clock, and get a good shot to go in the locker room.
Bracy Wright goes behind the back, and Green, another good defensive effort by Green. 6 turnovers now for Indiana.
Seems coaches remember what happened in the last minute or 2 of the half more than they do the other 18. And Indiana's had a couple turnovers here these last 2 trips down the floor.
There's Green. Puts the ball on the floor. Almost got away with it, Lance.
Now that's Bracy Wright. See, Green thinks he's open, and Bracy comes out of nowhere. He knows he's going to get the shot block, so he tries to do a high step dribble, but you can't do that.
It was close. It was close, though.
Well, see, Mike Davis called the 22nd timeout. He's not like the last 2 plays. He's going to set something up. 49 seconds to go, and you'll see a set play. Often the times after a timeout, you see a team able to score simply because they've gotten the proper instruction. Each guy knows where he's supposed to be, and they can run the play.
Well, Bracy Wright's 26 points, 7 rebounds in high school. Had 21-7 against Virginia in the Maui championship game. And look at the numbers, huh? For a rookie, 11 against UMass, 15 against Gonzaga, and then 21 against Virginia.
And who was the last IU freshman to score double figures their first 3 games?
Wow.
Calbert Chaney. All-time leading scorer in Indiana history. So that's a good start for Bracy Wright.
So maybe that's an omen, huh?
It would be good for Indiana if that came true.
Really be nice if Mike Davis and Bill Self keep these freshmen around their campuses for 4 seasons.
All right, let's see what Indiana set up now. You can see a much slower pattern now. They're trying to run that shot clock down before they start their play. Close to the timeline there by Bracy.
Yeah, Davis saying that he needs these younger guys to score, but he also needs them to push the older veterans. Coverdale lost control. Here comes North Texas now with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Well, Chris Davis, the leading scorer in the Sun Belt, on the bench. And Indiana's done a good job on him.
Just 5 points for Davis.
Indiana fans wanted to travel. Too strong. Here comes Indiana. There's the horn. And we've played 20 minutes of basketball. So Mike Davis will sit and contemplate for a couple of seconds. Not overly pleased with the last 30 or 45 seconds. 33-27. Quickly, your thoughts with the final 10 seconds.
North Texas stayed right with it. It's going to be an interesting second half.
33-27. Indiana on top. We're back with halftime festivities right after this.
Chevrolet Old Super Lot, we can help. Buy any new or used car or truck and you'll spend for up to $1,000 in holiday cash. During this holiday season, buy any new Chevrolet or Olds automobile at invoice. Remember, for cash back for the holidays, rebates up to $4,000 and a great deal on any new or used car or truck, Kenny Kent Chevrolet Old Super Lot. Why would you go anyplace else?
Wednesday.
You have to give it everything. It's no guarantee that you won't be hurt.
How filming the new Lord of the Rings movie put these actors' lives in harm's way.
I'll never forget hearing the medic say, "It's bleeding quite freely now."
The real-life test of endurance that would forever change cast and crew. Smallville's Michael Rosenbaum. The WB presents Behind the Scenes, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Watch for your chance to win tickets to the December 18th midnight premiere of Two Towers, Wednesday at 7 on WB19.
Back inside Assembly Hall alongside John Laskowski. I'm Mike Gleason. Great to have you on board. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hoosiers up 33-27. Jeff Newton comes in averaging almost 14. A little bit off. 7 rebounds today.
Yeah, there he is, just 7 rebounds. But I think he's going to score more when Leach is in the game because it's a double threat inside. And I think when North Texas knows Leach is not in, they can concentrate more on Newton. And it's hurt him so far in the scoring in the first half.
You know, Laz, what I love about Jeff Newton is the fact that coming into the game, he was 4 or 5 from three-point territory. In his career in Indiana, before that, he had attempted just 3. There's Davis, misfires. Davis had 5 points at halftime. He's their leading scorer.
Moye almost had that rebound and couldn't come up with it. An easy basket for Master.
So the Mean Green hanging tough, 33-29, down by 4 points. They lost SMU 88-75. Outside shot, ring it up. That's another 3 for Gracie Wright. He's in double figures with 12.
See, it didn't look like he was open. I mean, he had the ball a couple seconds and then just jumped quickly and got that shot away, and it was accurate as well.
So he has a nice lift on that jumper, huh? Here's Davis. He'll be looking for a shot in the second half. He played really well against the bigger schools last year. Against 3 Big 12 schools, he averaged 28.5 points. But again, he has 5 here this afternoon against this Indiana club. Newton with the spin. Moye.
What a good rebound, but a good block by Green.
Lee Green inside to Jermaine Green. Baseline turn. Newton clears. North Texas comes up with a loose basketball. Green with a second chance, and he converts that time.
Indiana having trouble getting a hold of it. A nice pass by Green as he's falling to his back. Got it right through the lane for a layup.
There's a whistle down on the baseline away from the ball. Looking at Angel Masters. Push away from the ball.
Watch the action here. Moye's got it. And the block by Green sends it the other way. It's a good block.
You know, Laz, what I like about this Indiana basketball program this year, coming off the national championship game, you lose a player like Jared Jeffries, and you talk to fans, and obviously they'd love to have him back. But you don't hear fans talking about Jared Jeffries, and that's something about the program. They're just talking about the new players and some of the returning veterans.
Right, that's the change that former players, they are players on last year's team have, and who's going to fill in for that? That's why he said Newton needs to do that. And he has not scored a lot of points today, and that's why it's still a close game. What's
the old saying? Ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. But can you imagine if Jared Jeffries was still on this basketball team and let's say maybe a Sean May had stayed in Bloomington? Well, this would be a scary basketball team. Green, a little bit too strong. Gracie Wright clears for Indiana. Chance to push their lead to double figures now.
Here's the pattern offense again. A lot of picks, trying to get guys open.
Sean Klein off the glass, and Sean Klein 7 points now off the bench for the redshirt freshman.
Indiana's got a nice half-court offense, as you saw there. They're very good off the break. Let's watch this half-court. Klein goes in, goes up strong. They're very quick on turnovers. They have a good transition offense. It's kind of when they're in between. They're starting a transition offense. They haven't set their regular offense up. They struggle offensively. They don't score in those situations very well.
It's nice when you can redshirt a player like Sean Klein. He gets in the weight room, gets up to 230, and we talk about Wilmot redshirting this year. Here's a guy that scored over 30 points a game in high school and comes to campus and actually takes a redshirt season. There's Chris Davis, gets the roll that time, but they wave off the bucket. Foul before the shot.
See, Hornsby's on Davis starting the second half. Remember, Bracy Wright had him in the first half, and I think Davis was frustrated. Now Hornsby's got the big challenge. Davis, 23 points a game scorer last year. 9th in the country.
Jermaine Green's been taking most of the shots for this Mean Green team. There's the foul. And Jermaine Green will go to the stripe shooting 2.
That's on Hornsby again. That's 2 fouls in 5 seconds. Give him 3 for the day.
You talk about Chris Davis. Third personal on Kyle Hornsby. Green on the line. You talk about Davis leading the Sun Belt Conference in scoring last year. Laz, he actually received some votes for the AP All-American preseason team, which is pretty impressive.
Indiana's got his number right now, but sometimes when that happens, you concentrate on one player so much. A guy like Jermaine Green comes through, and he's been the scoring threat now for North Texas today.
That's a good shot in the arm for Johnny Jones, because we mentioned Green averaging 13 and 12 last year, only 6. Newton, strong finish, another great feat.
There's a guy working in the weight room too. When Newton was a freshman and sophomore, that shot doesn't go in, and now he's strong enough to go through 2 players for the shot.
Well, it seems like yesterday, I remember watching television when Newton started his first game at Indiana as a freshman. I believe you guys were at, Indiana was at Texas Tech. A little twist of irony right there in itself. Hornsby off the window again, the runner. He's hit 2 runners here this afternoon.
When the open 3-point shot's not going in, just take it in on the run and bank some. That's his second one.
Indiana by a dozen, their largest lead. Coverdale causing havoc, as he does so often, and the possession arrow pointing towards Indiana, so we're coming back the other way. Timeout on the floor, 15:58 to go in the ball game here from Assembly Hall. Coverdale, 178 assists last year, getting it done again. It's 45-33 Hoosiers.
VZ Parrott Durkin and Shoulders, architects, engineers, and planners providing high-performance design services to local corporations and institutions for both private and public facilities, for local municipalities, for the business community, and more. High-performance design means efficiency and durability, saving the Evansville School Corporation $500,000 annually in operating costs. High-performance design means beauty and integrity, because sound, attractive architecture makes a better community. VZ Parrott Durkin and Shoulders, specializing in high-performance design for the new century.
Carrier's Weathermaker Infinity is the world's most totally efficient gas furnace. With our exclusive Comfort Heat technology, it can save you up to 40% on your home heating costs.
C. A.B. White & Sons, 1726 Riverside Drive. Call 476-8426. A.B. White & Sons, 476-8426.
Carrier, 100 years of innovation.
This is an El Camino. That's Spanish for the Camino.
Kelso's crazy for the car.
Wow, do you think it's mine?
The plate says Leo's.
No, I mean the car, man.
Can they make a deal for Leo's wheels?
$500.
400.
600.
500.
No. 500.
That 70 show.
Leo agreed to sell me the El Camino for like $500. What I need from you is $500.
Monday at 6:30 on WB19.
From Assembly Hall, the Home opener for the Hoosiers, and we talked about that Maryland, Illinois, Chicago game, Laz, but coming up is Vandy and Purdue as well.
And Vanderbilt, coached by Kevin Stallings, a very familiar name, coached and played at Purdue. And then Indiana takes on the Boilermakers in a non-conference Big Ten game. They only play once this year during the regular season, so they've scheduled a non-conference game against Purdue at the RCA Dome.
Yeah, I really take my hat off to both schools for scheduling that game. Green takes it the distance. Nice scoop shot, reverse. Jermaine Green has come alive with 14 points here this afternoon. It's 45-35 back to 10.
Well, and Green just averaging 6 points a game coming in to this ball game. He's been suffering an ankle injury, but no signs of that now.
Remember a few years ago, Michigan State were only scheduled once, and they did the same thing Purdue and Indiana are doing this year. They scheduled a preseason game. Sean Klein takes it in, and the jump ball possession arrow coming back to North Texas.
It's good defensive play there. Klein got that ball stuffed, and the jump ball is called. Let's watch Coverdale on this. Like he had a lane in there. He stopped short. I don't think he wanted to make that foul, thinking Newton had a better chance to block that shot, but Jermaine Green moved that ball around. Not even Newton could get a hand on it.
Davis comes off the screen, pulls the trigger, definitely does not have his shot this afternoon. Hopkins in the same boat. Rattles out. Bracy writes, he hasn't missed many.
Yeah, Klein went after that pretty strong, but had to go over the back. Made the foul. Newton would have had the layup. It's a good shot for Bracy, just couldn't get it to fall.
Strickland back in for Mike Davis. Kyle Hornsby goes out. Hornsby, a prolific shooter, not having the best afternoon for the Hoosiers here today with his shot.
Indiana now 6 of 8 here in the second half, so they've improved greatly on that shooting percentage.
Good entry pass. Green a little bit too far underneath. We've got a 10-point ball game. Interesting scenario to think about if Chris Jackson, or Chris Davis rather, came out and was red hot. And we mentioned the fact he scored 28.5 against Big 12 competition last year. Nice lean that time by Jermaine Green. He's fouled, so he gets the bucket and he's going to the line.
That is a heads-up play by Green. He knew Bracy was there and didn't want to foul, so he leaned into Bracy, although not enough to be called an offensive foul. It was enough to make contact, and the foul goes against Bracy. That's a big league play there.
So Green with 8 first half points, and he has 9 here in the second half for 17 in the game.
Gave a big holler coming down that floor. He wants to get his North Texas team fired up. They know they're still in this game. Ooh, tough pass there by Marshall. That was lucky to get through. And that's a tough shot by Klein, not the one Indiana wants to take.
Well, Klein tries to keep it alive on the offensive end, but it goes out of bounds.
Indiana's offense definitely out of sync, and that's why their defense really has got to carry them through a game like this. Whether that jet lag is still hanging on, it's hard to tell, but they don't look nearly as sharp as they did last week.
There's Barnett, the 6'10 freshman, walked with the basketball. No relation to Dave Barnett, the ESPN announcer, although Dave Barnett is an alumni of North Texas.
There's Johnny Jones. He was a player in '81 when Indiana won the national championship. They played LSU in the tournament run. He was a coach in '87 when Indiana made their run there and Indiana defeated LSU. And he was a coach in '92 when Shaquille O'Neal led LSU and Indiana beat them with Matt Nover stopping Shaquille. If you remember, Shaquille was 13 of 13 from the free throw line in that game against Indiana. Unheard of now, the way he shoots in the NBA.
As a matter of fact, I remember that game very well, driving down the highway listening to it on the radio. As Newton has 8 points now. Nice driving left half hook for the 6'9 senior. And he fails to complete the three-point play.
Chance for Indiana to set that offense up now and make this a 4-point play.
Boy, Newton, what a game he had against Oklahoma, huh? 19 points, 6 boards, 4 blocks. There's that drop step, and Newton in double figures for 10.
That's better in the offense for him. He takes one quick dribble, that turning, and jumps so high it's hard to block that shot.
There's
Marshall guarding Davis. Did a nice job there. Keeps those hands straight up. They're going to say they went off Indiana on the shot. Let's take a look at Newton on that last basket. He's posted up well. Fakes to the left. Comes back to the right. And hits the shot.
Jermaine Green with the basketball last, looking inside to Davis, but the last time Green looked a little bit frustrated because he's had the hot hand and Davis has been cold. But still looking to the #1 scorer in Chris Davis, the 6'5" senior. But I guess the old adage is, if you're a scorer, don't stop shooting.
Keep trying. Yep. Coach doesn't. You don't do the coach any good by just passing if you're the scorer.
Davis not only led the Sun Belt last year, he was the #9 scorer in the country. A.J. Moye.
He knew that was off. He was running before it hit the rim.
And speaking of running, here comes the mean Green. Davis finally gets one to go down. Chris Davis, his first bucket in the second half, that gives him 7, and it's back to single digits at 49-40.
You can hear this crowd. They're restless. They know Indiana should be in better control of this game. But give North Texas credit. They're hanging tough. Tough pass that time by Strickland.
Crossover by Davis. Stops and finds Green this time. And Green from 14 rolls off. Very quickly. Covered it. Moye kisses it off the window. And A.J. Moye, his first bucket of the second half. We're back to 11.
Coverdale trying to get that crowd going. That was a risky pass. It had to be perfect over the shoulder and converted. Now the crowd responding to Coverdale's plea. They're up and cheering for the Hoosiers.
Well, the coaches out in Molly had nothing but praise for Tom Coverdale. There's an over and back. Another turnover for North Texas. Johnny Jones watching Coverdale let A.J. Moye open up the 11-point lead. It's now 51-40 Indiana.
There are many things that made my Indiana basketball career memorable. You may remember that alleged foul that I committed during a certain tournament game last season. Well, I'm here to tell you once and for all, I did not commit the foul. There was no contact, nothing, nada. And who was there to report it? Inside Indiana. They reported what actually happened, and they had the pictures to prove it. The only place to turn is inside Indiana.
To get all the behind-the-scenes information, call 800-282-GO-IU.
The car of your dreams can be yours today when you stop by Andrews Auto Sales. At Andrews Auto Sales, you can find a quality used car with a low down payment that won't ruin your budget. Down payment starting as low as $200. And buying a car at Andrews Auto Sales has never been easier because when you buy here, you pay here. Whatever your credit situation or if no credit at all, you can buy a car at Andrews Auto Sales, even if you have a past bankruptcy. They finance everyone and even on the same day. Andrews Auto Sales has 2 locations on the corner of Bakey and Morgan Avenue and one at 1012 East Riverside Drive in Evansville.
Next time on She Spies, the girls infiltrate a singles resort.
Why don't you come over later for pizza and sex? And bring the pizza?
They've got their cover names.
Tango and Breeze?
They've got their pickup lines.
A mixer without the drinks is like sex without the spanking.
But do they have what it takes to stop a deadly spy ring?
Not bad for girl agents.
He's mine.
Natasha Henstridge in She Spies.
11-point ball game. Indiana 51-40, 11-10 to go in the contest.
Here's that last play. Coverdale makes the tough pass over the shoulder to Moye. And then he's trying to get this crowd going. Look at him. He's got his hands up. Let him go. Indiana wins 88% of their games at Assembly Hall. 373 and 52.
Wow.
So the crowd a big help to that stat.
How about the jet lag? You know, I've never had the pleasure of going to Hawaii. I'm sure you've played over there.
Well, jet lag probably hurts the offense more than defense. I mean, you need your legs on defense, but it's more positioning and hustling. But on offense, it's touch and feel, and I think you're going to hurt more on offense. And that's what's happened today. Indiana's held North Texas to 40 points. That's a very good job defensively, but their offense has fallen behind, just 51 points. Their shooting percentage is down.
So that mental focus, huh? Just so much of it can be mentally when you're exhausted. Jeff Newton, he's shooting 50%. 4 for 8. He's got a double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds. So loose basketball picked up by Indiana.
Good pass there.
Bracy Wright pulls the trigger, ring it up for number 4. He's got 15 points.
Good hustle there by Indiana. Got the open shot, and Bracy was ready. Let's see if Indiana extends this lead now.
Up 14. Harris misfires.
Oh, look at Bracy Wright. 42 is Michael DeGrade. He's 6'7", and Bracy went right next to him to get that rebound.
Newton backing his man down. Strickland, the other rookie. Doesn't look like a rookie.
Well, that's what they did against Virginia late in that second half. Wright and Strickland carried Indiana offensively so that they won that title, and Johnny Jones needs a timeout.
Could be a 30-second timeout, I believe. You know, you talk about Strickland, too. He didn't score that much against UMass or Gonzaga. But he had 12 points in the last 9 minutes of that Virginia game. 3 right here, his first bucket. 17-point lead now for Indiana.
The Tri-State leader in commercial. Since 1989, the Tri-State leader in commercial and industrial electrical design and construction is KM Electrical. KM Electrical has been helping businesses all over the Tri-State design and maintain an electrical system that fits their business needs. KM Electrical is licensed, bonded, and insured, and is also a member of the local International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. So whether your project is big or small, count on the leader in electrical design and construction, KM Electrical. 422-5700. That's 422-5700.
Every day, AmeriDebt helps more people with money problems. People like Tom Baker.
My credit card debt was outrageous. Then I called AmeriDebt. They contacted my creditors and got my payments almost cut in half. Now I have only one small monthly bill.
AmeriDebt is a nonprofit organization that offers free consultations to consumers seeking to eliminate their debt. People like the Shaws.
Every month I pay our credit card bills, but the balances never seem to get smaller.
AmeriDebt got our interest rates reduced, and now the balances are dropping dramatically.
And what's even more amazing is our payments are less than before.
Just call this number, and regardless of your credit, in minutes you can join the thousands of people who have turned their financial lives around. People like Maria Rinaldi.
Before I called AmeriDebt, the creditors were calling every day. I thought bankruptcy was the only way out. Now I'm debt-free, and my credit rating has been restored.
Call 800-247-9100. AmeriDebt, helping America get out of debt.
Heads-up play by Strickland, and he found Coverdale with a tough bounce pass. When Bracy Wright gets time, that shot's going to go. He thought he got fouled. Want to make that a 4-point play. But Indiana's now 4 of 5 in the second half, make it 6 of 16 for the game.
And North Texas still with the goose egg here in the second half as far as the shots behind the arc. They're a 42% shooting team. So Indiana's defense definitely doing a number on the Mean Green here this afternoon. Inside 10 minutes, 17-point game. Indiana tuning up for that ACC Big Ten Challenge from Conseco. A little shovel pass, but it won't go down. So the Mean Green really having a tough time finding their shot.
23% now for the game from the field. So their shooting has really struggled. We'll credit Indiana's defense with some of it.
Bracy Wright thought about it and then took it.
See, that is tough to do. You come around thinking, I'm going to be on my move, I'm going to take this shot. It wasn't open, so he hesitates, so I'm going to pass. No, he takes the shot. I mean, that is really a shooter mentality there.
Well, Mike Davis said he fell in love with his game the minute he saw him play. He started recruiting him. Davis finds the open man, and it goes down. That's Michael DeGrade, his first bucket. Talk about three-point shooting, too. It's going to be interesting as this season progresses as far as Hornsby and Coverdale. Coming into the game, Coverdale 133 threes, Hornsby 132. We've got quite the contest going on. Jeff Newton now with 12, chance for 13.
Nice move by Newton. Need Mike Davis like that move right there. Let's watch it. Fakes left, steps back out, reverse dribble. One dribble to the hoop. Got that big arm going to the basket. Well, that's a tough one to stop. Right on his season's average with that free throw.
Well, he's always solid, but he looks like a different player this year, guys.
Well, it's a mental thing, as we talked about. He knows Jared Jeffries isn't here, and he's got to step up. There's George Leach on the Indiana bench. He'll sit out today with that arm injury, and hope that he'll be ready for Maryland on Tuesday.
And Sean Klein giving Mike Davis some productive minutes, but it's too bad. Leach had that sad look on his face during the pregame ceremonies when you talked to him during the warm-ups. He had some big numbers over in Maui.
George Leach is a type of player that he's a game player. He likes to get in the game and go. You know, he practices. It doesn't show as much in practice as he shows in the game. When he exploded those 19 points and 16 rebounds against UMass, I mean, people had not seen him play as they followed his career here at Indiana. That was a total shock, but he's always thought he's being more of a game player than he is in practice.
Coverdale outside, that's a 3-ball. So he moves a little further ahead of Kyle Hornsby in that contest. 14 now for Coverdale.
Yeah, I think three-point shooting gets contagious. When one guy starts to make it, the other guys, it makes it easier for them as well. Indiana really shooting the three-point well in the second half.
There's the reach on Chris Davis. That's 5 fouls on the Hoosiers, says Tom Coverdale. And the Hoosiers up 66-42. 7:42 to go in the ball game. Coverdale, nothing but net.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Sierra Mist. One shockingly refreshing lemon lime.
He's 6'2". He's beautiful, and he's completely in love with my daughter.
Trouble.
Big time.
Rory is a smart kid. I don't believe she'd waste her time with some loser.
But you're watching me.
The whole town is watching you.
Every Sunday in Beginnings. Gilmore Girls Beginnings.
Tonight at 6 on WB19.
Fairy tales come to life.
Someone here eat a poison apple?
Glass slippers, poison apples, and of course, the big bad wolf. These witches may not live happily ever after all.
Who's gonna kiss her?
I'll do it.
A charmed fairy tale.
Tonight at 7 on WB19.
What is it about danger that makes your blood just...
Angel is endlessly fascinating. Critics rave 4 out of 4 stars.
You think I should keep these alphabetical or rearrange them by how much damage they inflict?
Angel.
Tonight at 8 on WB19.
Back inside Assembly Hall for the Sunday afternoon matinee, 66-42, and Jared Jeffries down the NBA, but Mike Davis has a new go-to guy.
That's Jeff Newton. He's the key to this team for Indiana. They're going to make some three-point shots from the outside, but Newton's got to be the presence inside to let those three-point shots get open. Look at that move right there. Spin to the move, very smooth. Jeff Newton.
But once it starts to flow, once the confidence grows, it's amazing what a player can do. Be a fun bunch to watch. The Big Ten race once again, very competitive. Everybody picking Michigan State, but I'm not so sure this Indiana team's not going to be right there, breathing down their neck if not taking the lead. Mike Davis says people talk about the run they made in the NCAAs, Laz, but he said people forget that we had sole possession of first place before Jared Jeffries got hurt last year.
That's right. The Wisconsin game here at Assembly Hall. Wisconsin wins by a point. That was a crucial game. Jeffries didn't play. Wisconsin came in, played well, and beat Indiana. But if Indiana wins that game, it might have gone on to win the title outright. A.J. Moye tried that spin dribble, lost control of the ball, but still end up on the free throw line. And that's 5 fouls now on Masters.
So Angel Masters takes a seat with Johnny Jones. A.J. Moye goes to the line with that big free throw with 7 seconds to go to preserve the win over the Zags of Gonzaga.
And he did it to him, Mike. But he made 2 big ones against Duke, too, with about 11 seconds to go. And Indiana ends up winning that ball game by 1.
Well, he was quite the spark plug in the NCAAs with averaged 8 points and had that huge block on Boozer. Davis is rejected.
He heard you. He heard you. He got another block.
Davis drives it in on the loose ball. 9 points now for Davis.
Indiana's the stage of the game now, Mike. They need to slow it down. Fast break pass there gets stolen. North Texas got an easy basket. They've got a lead. They run their offense. Wait for the defense to make a mistake and capitalize on it.
Spin move, Coverdale. Big rotation, unselfish play, and Strickland throws it out of bounds, but he was looking for the open Jeff Newton down on the baseline. So the Hoosiers have Maryland and Conseco, the ACC Big 12, Big 10 Challenge, and North Texas heads down to the Winthrop Tournament. This is the 3rd game of 5 straight road starts for Johnny Jones and the Mean Green. Johnny Jones once shared the same backcourt with Michael Jordan back in 1981. I think that was in Indianapolis, wasn't it? The National Hoops Festival. Says something about his playing days. Brycey Wright. Oh.
It just doesn't look like there's an open shot there. I mean, we haven't seen this from an Indiana player in a long time. He creates his own shot with that extension of that arm, and he is deadly accurate.
Well, he has 21 here this afternoon.
Pass there by Davis.
Harris has his first bucket. Harris was a McDonald's All-American nominee, and of course, a reach at the half court. Of course, Brycey Wright, the 16th McDonald's All-American to play for the Indiana Hoosiers.
A little screen from the North Texas bench. The play occurred right in front there. The official Rick Hartzell was there. I tell you, these coaches get so into these games, and they want that call to go their way, and they get real dramatic, but it was right in front of the ref. They calmed down right away.
Coverdale knocks it down, a 70% shooter. He's 15 points on the day.
Here you see North Texas. They're averaging 78 points. They give up 83. Indiana's 76. They'll get there today. They've been giving up 69, and that's high. I expect Indiana's defense to lower that as the season goes on.
So with 48 points, I guess North Texas won't even come close to sniffing 78, as there's a shooting touch that Johnny Jones has come to love. 12 points now for Chris Davis. He's a 43% shooter from behind the arc this year, and he's been stone cold. Speaking of stone cold, he also went to North Texas, just for the record.
That's Steve Austin you're talking about. Okay, the wrestler.
Strickland a little bit shy. Long rebound comes out to North Texas. There's Davis. Davis squares up, pulls the trigger too strong that time.
I tell you, Newton, that's a tough pass. Coverdale made a bounce pass. Newton was open. Coverdale just couldn't figure out how to get it through there, and he finally did. Newton got the easy hoop.
This was a 5-point game at halftime, and now it's 72-51 Indiana. Great balance.
Steal by Coverdale goes all the way.
So great balance. Wright with 21. Coverdale now has 17, and Jeff Newton has 15 for Mike Davis. Inside 5 minutes. This game's going by very, very quickly here on the Sunday afternoon.
Indiana's going to have balanced scoring. There's 4 players in double figures so far, and Leach is at 9.3. Good block by Moye.
Now some racehorse basketball. A.J. Moye kisses it out the window, takes it the distance.
So Indiana's just played hard the whole game. I think it's finally worn down North Texas more than it has Indiana. It's like the jet lag is over as Indiana's up 25.
Well, North Texas having a hard time finding an open shot. They go to the bench. But first, a timeout here from Assembly Hall. So we'll take a break. Coverdale, the assist man again to Newton, the new go-to guy, 76-51.
It's the best time
when it's that special time of the year.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell. of America loves the Time Life Treasury of Christmas.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
You get 46 all-time Christmas classics.
Chestnuts roasting on an
Get the Time Life Treasury of Christmas on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas
46 favorites.
I'll have a blue Christmas.
These are the Christmas songs we'll always love. So call now for the Treasury of Christmas.
Call 800-247-9100 or send $26.99 for 2 CDs or 2 cassettes plus $5.99 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
Inside 4 minutes to go. Mr. Laskowski, Tom Coverdale, another big game for Indiana.
Told you before the game his back was feeling good. You see he's not hesitating at all. Drives it in there, makes a nice pass. There's the over-the-shoulder pass to Moye. And then here he goes back out to Bracy Wright. He's the real spark plug of this team. He can dish the ball off, but he also makes that open three-pointer. And remember that game last year against Notre Dame up there in South Bend. He did a wonderful job of getting that shot to go. Got 29 points. Really ignited his career.
Well, the last time we checked, Jerry Dunn's Nittany Lions were on top. Now they trail Yale by 10. Illinois tipping at 3 against Western Illinois. Illinois getting ready for that battle in Chicago against North Carolina. And then UConn and Vandy playing later this afternoon. North Texas only 9 field goals in the second half. And Ryan Tapak goes high for the rebound from Mike Davis.
Tapak's a walk-on from Perry Meridian High School. Great three-point shooter. And when he gets the ball, the crowd's anticipating he'll take a three-point shot.
Indiana, 17 opponents on this year's schedule that tasted the postseason last year. Deep down in the corner, there's the three-point shot. He's fouled. So Strickland should be shooting 3 from the line.
Strickland will be a key player for this team as well. He's worked on his three-point shot, but he's a real good passer of the ball. He's a point guard. He can come in and replace Coverdale or work with him. And he's worked hard on that shot. He's improved his shot.
Well, the second of 3 from the stripe gives him 5. He'll have 1 more. Again, he had 15 against Virginia in 23 minutes. He was 5 of 6, 12 points in the last 9 minutes as the Hoosiers won the championship over Maui. Strickland, you talk about Wilmot and Bracy Wright. Strickland's another guy, 30 points a game, 52% shooting in high school. Hopkins, he's had a long afternoon. This time, beautiful feed inside to Will Smith.
Good crossover dribble that time. Lost his Indiana defender. Good shot fake that time.
Sean Klein with the offensive rebound. Doesn't go, but Indiana keeps it alive on the offensive end. Donald Perry slices down the lane, and Klein is fouled, so Sean Klein will be going to the line shooting 2 more. Let's talk about Donald Perry. Here's another Mr. Basketball from the state of Louisiana. I mean, you build a monster like Mike Davis wants to build. And I know he said he felt bad that Perry only played about 3 minutes against Virginia. But somewhere, someplace, someone's got to lose some minutes when you have the superstar freshman coming in.
Right, Perry did a great job last year when Coverdale got hurt against Kent State, came in the game and helped them on to that victory. Perry has worked on his shot a lot in the offseason as well. He's not hesitant to take a three-point shot now. And so you'll see him out there at that guard position. Indiana stocked with guards, and that's why it's so important that Newton and Leach have a good year. Here's another player, Daryl Pegram, number 31, 6'9", 193. First time Indiana fans have gotten a look at him. He's from Los Angeles, California. He needs to gain a little weight as well, but he'll be needed at some situations on the inside.
Hopkins misfires, and the rebound is Roberts. And Perry against Oklahoma played well. Only 11 minutes, had 10 points against the Sooners. But again, you look down, of course, the season is a long one, but only 5 can play, and there's only 1 basketball on the floor. You got the guys like Bracy Wright Marshall Strickland. Take a look at the Indiana bench. They'll be going to 4-0 for the third time in the last 5 years. It's going to be interesting to see Indiana play Illinois when we're talking about these rookies in the Big Ten. White and Strickland here. Rogers misfires. Jerome Rogers, he's been stone cold this afternoon. And Laz, he was 6 of 11 from three-point territory against SMU.
Now, Indiana's only given up 38% opponent's field goal percentage. North Texas well below that today.
And North Texas keeping it alive. Indiana comes away with the basketball. Inside 2 minutes now. $1:52 to go before they put this one in the books.
Mark Johnson's 21, also a walk-on from Wisconsin. Getting a chance to play.
Nice lean by Roberts. A good job to draw the foul and put himself on the line.
Roberts is a real banger on the inside. 6'9", less than a 210, but he's got a little more than that now. He's worked out over the summers.
Glad you brought that up. In Chicago, we were talking to Kyle Hornsby and Tom Coverdale, and all the media saying that Leach put on 30 pounds. Now they kind of grinned. They said he's put on some weight. He's strong, but 30 pounds, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, that may be too much, but George is a lot stronger now. Roberts just a sophomore. He'll probably play 5 or 10 minutes per game to rest Newton or Leach this season.
For Roberts, the redshirt sophomore with 5 points and limited playing time, and Sean Klein has 8.
What a pick by Donald Perry, just right off the dribble.
Well, Indiana doing a great job of keeping it alive on the offensive end.
I'll tell you, Moye may have tipped that ball back in. I don't know that Johnson at the IU bench was able to reach that ball. Look at the smile on Moye's face. A shot by Johnson comes back. Johnson's running after it now to the IU bench. And Moye pulls his hand out of the cookie jar at the last second there.
Scott Roniger with the basketball back in the lineup for Johnny Jones. Here's Rogers. Rims out. Smith inside 1 minute, and Will Smith, the 6'7" junior, gets his 6 point.
Roberts needs to lock out there and keep Smith from getting that rebound.
So Mike Davis will get his 50th victory early in his 3rd season here in Indiana. He's 46 wins in his first 2 seasons. Most of 2 years by an IU coach. Roniger, nice slice that time, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line.
On the left hand that time. Donald Perry thought he was going to go right. He let him get by him.
So Johnny Jones did a 1 and 2, but remember he was 15 and 14 last year, 4 and 24 the year before. And Roniger played at the same high school, Metairie, Louisiana, that Johnny Jones did during his high school playing days, before landing at Baton Rouge, playing for the Tigers of LSU. Inside 26 seconds. There's Rogers misfiring from 3 again. Jerome Rogers, a 5'10" junior. With 56 threes, #1 on the team last year while shooting 43%. But he's had a hard time hitting the ocean from the beach here this afternoon for Johnny Jones. Actually, it's unfortunate for Jones, as Chris Davis averaged 22 points a game last year. Davis with 12, but only 5 at halftime. There's Ron Harris, a 6'7" freshman. And he knocks in his 3rd point. Harris, as I mentioned earlier, a McDonald's All-American nominee. 23 seconds to go. He misfires, and Perry pulls it down for Indiana. Hoosiers, final 20 seconds of the ball game. Inside 10 seconds now. Ryan Tapak, the southpaw, knocks it down. That's a 2, just inside the line. The 9th Hoosier to get in the scoring column, and there's the buzzer. Ending the game, and Mike Davis is 4-0, and he picks up his 50th victory in his young career here as the head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers. You look at both those guys, they both were assistant coaches, Jones and Davis, at Alabama. And of course, Mike Davis, a one-time star for the Crimson Tide of Alabama. But there's a star in his own right, the freshman Bracy Wright, 21 points for Indiana, the MVP of the Maui Invitational. He was the first freshman to win the MVP since Joseph Forte of North Carolina back in 1998. 84-58 is our final score. Just momentarily, Mike Davis will be able to talk to John Laskowski. So we're going to take a quick timeout here from Assembly Hall. 84-58. Bracy Wright with 21. Newton with 15. Coverdale with 17. We're back with postgame right after this.
Hi, I'm Denise Austin, and my brand new Pilates Stretch and Tone workout system is guaranteed to give you quick results in just minutes a day. With my Stretch and Tone system, you get the same great workout and benefits as those expensive Pilates machines at a fraction of the cost. My Pilates Stretch and Tone system will transform and change the shape of your body by elongating and strengthening your muscles for the perfect workout. Stretch and Tone also provides excellent upper and lower body exercises for a total body workout.
Call now to order the Denise Austin Stretch and Tone Kit for just $19.95. You'll receive a set of Denise's Stretch and Tone workout bands, plus her amazing 10-minute daily workout video and exercise guide. It's the perfect reference chart.
Don't miss out on this amazing offer. You get all this for only $19.95. So call now.
Have your credit card ready and call this toll-free number, or send your check or money order to the address on your screen. Denise Austin's Stretch and Tone workout is only $19.95 plus shipping and handling.
Wednesday. You have to give it everything. There's no guarantee that you won't be hurt. While filming the new Lord of the Rings movie put these actors' lives in harm's way.
I'll never forget hearing the medics say, it's bleeding quite freely now.
The real-life test of endurance that would forever change cast and crew. Smallville's
Congratulations on the win. Let's go back to Hawaii, though, for a minute. You were 3-0, won the Maui Invitational. Talk about your team's play in Hawaii.
First of all, thank God for this victory and the opportunity to be able to coach Indiana. We played well in Maui. Not great, played well. Defensively, I thought we broke down in every game that we played. We had every team over there about 15 points at one point. We just didn't finish the game strong. Today we started off, and I knew it would be a shaky game today because of the jet lag and everything. We hadn't really practiced since we've been back. But the second half, I thought we played well.
What do you think it was in the second half that got the team going better?
Well, just able to regroup, get a half on their belt, and we came out and really played aggressive on the defense. In the first half, they got 4 baskets on offensive rebounds. They got some easy baskets in transition. And so other than that, they shot 34%.
Seems the jet lag may affect offense more than defense because your defense just plays hard, and that really kept you in this ball game.
Well, I think we settled for outside shots. And you can tell by us being tired, we caught it and shooting the basketball. Second half, we came out, tried to get the ball inside of Newton, and Newton played well.
All right, so you got that double threat, Newton on the inside, and your guard shooting on that side. They struggled a little too, but that second half, the three-point shot came through.
Well, the second half was very good for us. Bracy stepped up, hit some really big shots. I thought Coverdale settled down and making passes and played well. Sean Klein gave us a nice lift today also.
All right, let's see. We got some highlights here on today's game, Coach. If you can, hold on. All right, look at Bracy Wright now, number 4, freshman here from the Colony in Texas. And Bracy, your first home game as an Indiana Hoosier. I know you got to see some games while you were recruited, but what's it like to play here at Assembly Hall in front of this crowd?
It's amazing. The fans come out, they support you really well. When our team gets going and the crowd gets into it, we're a tough team to beat, but just seeing all the tradition here and knowing how great the past Indiana teams were to play in Assembly Hall is a big deal for me.
You seem to fit into the style of play very well here, starting your first game as a freshman, MVP over in Maui. Has it been easy for you, or has it been a lot of work to try to get in this lineup?
At times it's been tough, but for the most part I've been really comfortable. I've adjusted well. My teammates have helped me a lot, so it's starting to get easier and easier every day.
All right, let's take a look at some highlights from today's ball game, and there's a lot of you, by the way. Let's take a look at some of those right now. Talk about your drive. This is your outside shot. You seem to have a quick release on that shot.
Well, I don't know what it is. A lot of people say that my shot is kind of flat, but I don't tend to pay attention to it as long as it goes in.
Got great extension. Looked like a couple times you thought you got fouled on that three-point shot. You wanted 4. You on that free throw, huh?
he was hitting me on my arm just a little bit every time I shot, but you know, I didn't think they'd call it. I was just trying to see if they would throw something my way so I can get on the free throw line a little bit more. But you know, I'm happy that my shots were falling and that we got the win.
You had to guard Davis too. He's their big scorer. You held him just 5 points in that first half. So the coach is looking for you for a little defensive action too.
Yeah, he's a really tough player. You know, he can drive, he can shoot, and I think he's around 225 pounds. So that was a big thing for me to try to shut him down. That really said something about my defense and how far I came along.
All right, Bracy, welcome to Indiana. It's great to see you playing. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Laz. 21 against Virginia, and Bracy Wright, the freshman out of the Colony, Texas, with 21 this afternoon. 84-58, Indiana victorious. We're back with some final thoughts after this.